Hey everyone, it's Cynthia, psychic and astrologer. So, this is actually going to be the weekly horoscope for January 19th through January 25th for all 12 sun signs. So, let's get started. Now, Aries. Now, the energy is actually going to be active on a more social level, but there's definitely going to be a lot going on with health and well being. So, on January 19th, the sun actually will enter your 11th house of friendships, groups, and organizations. So, the next 4 weeks will be a positive social time for you. This is actually going to be a great time to connect with family and friends. Now, yes, there could be invitations to parties and events. Maybe you put together an event or party, but I feel this could actually also be in a way of connecting online or through the internet or building social connections through social media. Now, it's a very active and communicative time for you on January 23rd. So the communication will pick up through emails, text messages, and phone calls. Now, your career is actually going to be highlighted on January 24th when Mars enters your career house. So, the next 7 weeks is actually going to be a time where you may actually see a promotion or advancement or even an opportunity to make more money. This could actually even be a time where you might even start a business or business venture. So it's actually going to be a time where you might actually feel much more productive and active. The energy is actually going to be looking pretty good when it comes to taking care of, any financial obligations and like I said, an opportunity to make more money. Taurus. So your career is actually going to be highlighted when the sun enters your career house on January 19th. So the next 4 weeks is a time where opportunities may come for you for your career. Now, this could actually be a great time for you to pursue a new business and build connections to build this business, especially if you need investors or you need to build connections and networking, this is a great time for you to do that. Now, on January 23rd, you may actually find yourself taking some frequent short trips or running errands around town throughout that day. So it's a pretty productive day for you. Now, Mars will be entering your ninth house of long distance trips, foreign people and places on January 24th. Now, a few things going on here. So, for the next 7 weeks, when we're dealing with education, this could be a time where you may enter a college or university, take on classes and courses to further your career. If you're looking maybe to get certified to advance your career, this is a great time for you. Now, law or legal issues. This could actually be a time when you're dealing with any court or legal issues that not necessarily indicate that it's going to work to your behalf. This could be a situation that you have to take care of some of these issues during that time, especially if you're going through a divorce or having to deal with child support, alimony, anything, custody issues. That could be a big one during that time. The other part could actually be travels, whether others from afar come to visit you or you go to visit them. So the energy could actually broaden your horizons and travel either physically or even mentally, like in learning a new language or culture, studying. But this could also be a time of you maybe even doing some travels, whether it's within the states or into another country. And this could actually be a very beneficial time for you to be, very studious, learn something new, but also maybe even to do take some trips yourself. So there's a few ways that this Mars could actually benefit you, but there could also be other ways that it could kind of work against you. The only thing that I would say is be careful in not being too forceful in your communication with others. Sometimes it could be beneficial, but other times it could maybe be a little aggressive. So just watch for how you connect or communicate with others. But overall, it's a very productive and active week, and going into the month of February would be a lot more active too. Gemini. So the sun will enter your ninth house of long distance trips, foreign people and places on January 19th. So the next few weeks is actually going to be a time for you to possibly travel long distance, or maybe others from afar come to visit you. Now, this is actually even a great time for education. So if you are maybe entering college or university, or maybe taking some classes and courses to further your career, this is actually going to be a great time for you. Now, we are dealing with a Mercury retrograde, so there could be some changes, revisions, maybe schedule changes. So just kind of be prepared or aware of that. Now, the energy is also pretty active with, like I said, travels, learning a new language or culture. This is actually even a great time to advance in your career and pursue new opportunities to advance in your career. For instance, if you're taking some classes and courses to do real estate or other types of classes and to get certification, great time to do so. A great day for all this would be January 23rd. Very productive and active day for you. Now, Mars will be entering your eighth house of joint resources, taxes, credit cards, and loans on January 24th. Now, the only thing that I would say is that the next 7 weeks can be a time where you have to take care of some debts or other financial obligations connected to others. Obviously, we're entering tax season. There could be the possibility of having to pay taxes, or maybe you owe some financial obligations or tax obligations here these next few weeks. Um, there could be also some legal issues, especially if you have to deal with alimony, child support, or other, obligations, financial obligations. You may run up debt. This could actually even be a time where you pay off debt. And so it's maybe a great time for you to um, wipe out some debt so you can kind of close out some stuff there in advance, especially if, let's say, you have to purchase a home and you need to clear up as much debt as possible. So it could be beneficial in that way. But the only thing that I would say is that there could be some obligations or financial obligations also with credit, with loans, maybe even connected to others. So some things that I would say maybe you want to just be aware of or be careful of. So it's a really good time, but also a time where you may have to take care of, like I said, some financial obligations. Cancer. So the sun is going to be entering your eighth house of joint resources, taxes, credit cards, and loans on January 19th. Now, the next few weeks, the next 4 weeks, can bring about a time to take care of financial obligations connected to taxes, credit cards, loans, um, there could even be financial obligations connected to others like child support and alimony. Now, it's a great time to pay off some debts or bills, but this could also be a time where you may create a new debt or bill. Let's say, for instance, as you're purchasing a vehicle or a home. So, not necessarily that you're doing something on purpose, like in a bad way. It's because, well, you're making an investment, a long term purchase. But it's a great time if you're having to take care of some financial obligations, taking care of some, paying off some bills. But this could also be a time, maybe because we're dealing with tax season. Maybe you get a tax refund, but then that same refund, now you have to invest it in a different way. So now a really positive day for you financially will also be January 23rd. So it's a great time maybe to take care of some financial obligations. Maybe you run into some good news with finances, or maybe taking care of some debts or bills. Now, Mars will be entering your partnership house on January 24th. So the next 7 weeks, it can be a time where there could be some disagreements or arguments with a partner. The partner could be someone personal or professional. It could also be somebody that you're collaborating with to further your career. This could create some disagreements or even some endings or separations, maybe even a breakup or divorce. But that's only if there have already been issues in the past. Now, this is a great time to work out any issues or problems, and hopefully, it's a great time that it can help resolve these issues. And hopefully, this would be also a great time to either resolve these issues and move forward, or to build a stronger relationship and commitment and partnership that either could help on a personal level or on a professional level, especially if you have to do any kind of collaborations or work with any clients or customers. This can definitely help you, and it could really go a long way and be very beneficial for you. All right, Leos. So the sun is going to be entering your partnership house on January 19th. Now, the next 4 weeks is actually going to be a time of focusing on partnerships and relationships. Now, a partner could be someone personal or professional. It could also be someone you work closely with to further your career. Now, the next 4 weeks is about collaborating, compromising, working together to move forward, whether it's resolving issues, working through issues. It doesn't have to be a personal relationship. It could be with a client, customer, coworker, or even someone that you have to deal with on a regular basis. It could be even a close friend. Now, communication really increases on January 23rd, and this is a great time where you may notice an increase of emails, text messages, and phone calls. Now, Mars will be entering your sixth house of work, service, and health on January 24th. So, the next 7 weeks will bring a time for you to focus on your health and well being. This could actually be a time to exercise and lose weight, but it could also be a time to take care of any health related issues, possibly even with like the bones or teeth. Now, it is going to be a time to work hard for the money, and you will notice an increase of tedious tasks and projects. The energy is going to be very active for you. Now, we are still going through a Mercury retrograde in your partnership house. So, this could be a time to resolving or taking care of old issues. Now, we are getting to the end of a Venus retrograde that will end on January 28th, 29th, around there in your sixth house. So, this is going to be a time where you may finally start to focus on, like I said, taking care of your health and well being, focusing on getting better and getting healthier, or maybe just looking over, what hasn't been working out, and maybe now it's time to take care of these issues. Virgo. So, starting January 19th, the sun will be entering your sixth house of work, service, and health. Now, this is actually going to be about 4 weeks to keep busy. You'll definitely notice an increase of tasks and projects. You'll definitely be focusing also on your health and well being. This could actually be a time where maybe you're just focusing on getting healthier, getting stronger, eating more healthier, taking more supplements, focusing on, um, you know, whether it's something you've been neglecting, like if you stopped walking or stopped exercising, this would be a great time where you start to get back into the rhythm of things. But you'll definitely notice an increase of tasks and projects. And this could be things that maybe you already know are going to be happening. Maybe it's work related. Maybe it's taking care of some chores around the house. And you're just catching up and taking care of all these obligations there. So there could be a time where you'll notice an increase of short trips and communication around January 23rd. And this could actually be with people that don't live close by, especially long distance family members and friends. It's a great time to catch up and a great time to just check in and see how they've been doing. Now, Mars will be entering your fifth house of love, creative projects, and children on January 24th. So the next 7 weeks, it's a very creative and artistic time for you. But it's also a great time to find love or fall in love. It's also a good time to spend time with children, especially in a sport or hobby. Now, you may also notice an increase of entertainment where they're watching a lot of movies, getting into music, maybe taking on a new instrument and practicing or learning to practice a new instrument. Now, it's a very artistic and creative time. So, if you are looking to write or produce or create, great time for you, especially in the next 7 weeks. I think it's actually even a great time for you to really put a project together that could really benefit you and go a long way, whether it's working with children, a creative project in music or writing or something, maybe even decorating and designing around the house, maybe decorating a room in your house. But this is a very artistic and creative time for you. Libra. So love may be on the horizon for you when the sun enters your fifth house of love, children, and creative projects. Now, the next 4 weeks can actually bring a time for you to find love or fall in love. It's a very artistic and creative time for you, and you may find yourself around music, like concerts and movies, or maybe you're putting together some music, um, maybe even producing like movies, putting videos together. If you're like a creative creator of, art projects or decorating and designing, any type of design of any sort is actually going to be a great time for you these next few weeks. Now, if you are maybe even working with children, I think this is a great time for you because you'll definitely connect well with children. And who knows, there might be news of a baby on the way, or you just find yourself spending time with children or being around children. So definitely it's a very active time for you, and this is a great time to take walks or maybe to be active around town, running more errands than usual. Maybe you're just getting more active, and getting out and going out. Sometimes even just running more errands than usual can be a form of being active. So around January 23rd, it's a great time for you to connect and communicate through emails, text messages, and phone calls. You may actually even notice just you receiving a lot more emails and phone calls. So it's a very great time and a great time where you'll notice a lot more communication. Now, Mars will be entering your fourth house of home on January 24th. The next 7 weeks can bring a time to relocate, renovate, or make changes around the home. Now, this is also a time where you may be making some repairs or renovations in the home. I have also noticed where I've seen relationships come to an end when Mars is in someone's fourth house. So for Libras, obviously Mars will be in the fourth house, and this could be an indication of a relationship coming to an end. But that's only if there have been previous issues. So a Mars in your fourth house is just increasing the issues that have already been there. Now, yes, there could be some repairs and renovations, especially with appliances. We are going through a Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrogrades like to create disruptions with electronics, including appliances. So you may have to replace one of these items like an appliance. So there could be some renovations and changes around the home. Like I said, if there are a situation like an end of a relationship, it's only if there have already been previous issues. Scorpio. So the sun is actually going to be entering your fourth house of home on January 19th. The next few weeks will bring a time for you to relocate, renovate, or make changes around the home. This could actually even be a time where you invite people more to your home. But the home is really going to be a big one for you. And this could actually even be a time where if you do any kind of travels, it could be maybe to visit family, like parents, or to spend time more around the home. Now, communication does increase around January 23rd, but I feel like you would be doing more like short trips or taking little short trips around town versus noticing any kind of big communications. Now, Mars will be entering your third house on January 24th. So, the next 7 weeks, you'll notice an increase of short trips. Um, but there could also be the increase of emails, text messages, and phone calls. It's a very active time for you. You'll probably even notice an increase of communication with family, friends, relatives, especially like cousins, aunts, and uncles. And this could actually be a time maybe when you go take a trip to go visit them. Now, there could be the possibility of having some disagreements or arguments with someone. You just want to be aware that if there is the possibility of resolving any old issues, because we do have Mercury retrograding here and even Venus retrograding, that it might be time to take care of these issues and just move forward. You may have to repair or replace a vehicle, a computer, a cell phone, or telephone because it could be that one of these items breaks down. Again, we have Mercury retrograding at this time, so it doesn't help that if there is something that breaks down, you may be finding yourself having to take care of these issues. You have to repair them, replace them, you know. But definitely, it's going to be a very active time. Great active time for education, taking on any classes or courses to further your career, and also a great, great time to maybe learn a new culture, a new language, go back to school if you're thinking maybe to take some classes or courses to further your career. Great time to maybe even take some classes or courses to get certified in something here. So it's a very active and studious time for you if you're looking to do something in that sense. So definitely a lot of activity going on with that. Great time to just be active, either just around town or just connect with family and friends. Sagittarius. So the sun is going to be entering your third house of short trips, communication, siblings, and neighbors on January 19th. Now, the next 4 weeks is actually going to be a time where you will feel that communication increases through emails, text messages, and phone calls. You may find yourself taking some quick short trips out of town, maybe to go visit family and friends. This could also be a time where maybe you decide to repair or replace a vehicle, computer, cell phone, telephone. So overall, the energy is quite active to be um, running around, taking short trips, running quick errands. Now, there could actually also be a time where you do some education, whether it's taking classes and courses to further your career, maybe to get certified, or maybe just taking some courses for yourself. Or if you do decide to go to school or go back to school, this could actually be a great time for you. Um, like I said, communication does increase through email, so there's definitely going to be a lot going on with that, and just a lot of uh, communication going on there. A day that really stands out for communication would actually be January 23rd. So that might be a time where you actually notice a lot more text messages and emails. Now, Mars will be entering your second house of earned income on January 24th. So the next 7 weeks is going to be a time where it's going to be about making money, building income. There could actually even be the opportunity to change jobs or find new sources of income. Now, there could actually be arguments over money, whether it's not getting paid enough, not being paid properly. This could be through paychecks, or it could be maybe with family or friends, or if you are going through any kind of legal issues, it might be something like that that you'll be having to deal with. But it is a very positive time to be building income, making more money, and building long term financial security. Capricorn. So, finances and financial obligations are highlighted for you when the sun enters your second house of earned income on January 19th. Now, the next 4 weeks is actually going to be a time of you focusing on sources of income, maybe changing jobs, bringing in new sources of income. This could actually be a time where you build more financial security there for yourself. Obviously, we're going into tax season, so maybe your gaining of money is through like maybe a refund or other financial benefits connected to that. Um, a day where you may actually find yourself running around, taking care of errands, maybe even taking a quick short trip, would be January 23rd. So it's actually a really good time to even get some work done. You'll feel very active and very, very productive. Now, Mars will actually be entering your own sign on January 24th. And the next 7 weeks is a very active time for you. You're going to have a lot of energy. This is great if you need to take care of some projects. If you this has been a time where maybe you have been not getting ahead with any tasks or projects, whether it's at work or at home. This is actually a really good time for you to take care of these tasks and projects. It's a very mobile time for you. So this is a great time to exercise. If you're looking maybe to start an exercise program, this is a really good time to start an exercise program. This is actually even a great time for you to get tasks and projects done. And you'll just feel very active, very mobile, really have a lot of high energy. Take advantage of this energy because you'll actually, like I said, feel very active and very productive. And this could actually really benefit you a lot, especially if you've been feeling like you've been falling behind, or if you are starting like an exercise program and, taking walks and maybe doing some jogging or starting an exercise program. I think this would actually work very well for you. So the next 7 weeks is actually going to be a really, really good time. And this could be actually a great time to do well and to get a lot of work done. But finances are going to be a big one literally for the next like couple weeks. But I think this would actually be great for you to really do well and financially to build more financial security. Aquarius. So the sun enters your own sign and house on January 19th. The next 4 weeks will bring a time for you to focus on your personal wants and needs. It's going to be a time for you to receive praise and recognition for your hard work. This is also a great time for you to work hard for the money, but a great time to make some personal decisions and changes for yourself. Now, communication does increase, and it is a very positive social time for you on January 23rd. This is a great time to run quick errands or even to connect with family and friends. Mars will be entering your 12th house of secrets and solitude on January 24th. So the next 7 weeks is going to be a time to focus on your health and well being. This could also be a time to take care of any issues relating to, like going to the doctor, maybe having to go to the hospital for a surgery, or it could also be that you are taking care of somebody who has to go to the doctor or go get a surgery or take care of their own health and well being. Maybe you are there looking out for them. This is a time to discard and get rid of what you don't need in your life, including unhealthy people. This could actually even bring about the end of a relationship, but only if things have not been working out or it's just overall an unhealthy situation. It could bring about a time to just be open to moving on and moving forward. Pisces. So the sun is actually going to be entering your 12th house of secrets and solitude. The next 4 weeks is going to be a time for you to focus on your health and well being. This is also a time for you to discard and get rid of what you don't need in your life. But I really feel this is actually going to be a time for you to reflect and look closely at what has not been working out for you and just time to make a change. Now, communication does increase on January 23rd. There's actually even a good time to connect with family and friends. Now, if anything, I actually feel that this is actually going to be a time where you're going to find yourself doing more like research, studying, maybe even looking over some documents. So it's a very active and productive time in that direction. Now we are going into tax season, so maybe you're doing some bookkeeping or maybe going over the finances and maybe even starting to put together for the taxes. Now, Mars will be entering your 11th house of friendships, groups, and organizations on January 24th. So the next 7 weeks is a very social and active time for you. Great time to connect with family and friends. Maybe you go to a party or event. Maybe it is that you put together an event or party. Now, it's not just a time to be social and active, but this could also be a time where friendships may come to an end. Now, I have seen when Mars is in the 11th house that it can create disagreements and arguments with a friend. I hope this doesn't happen, but this could also be a great time to resolve old issues. Now, some old issues because of Mercury retrograding may come out in the open again. And this could be a situation that you have to deal with all over again, even if you don't want to. But this could also be a time where you have to work through these issues And this could actually bring about a time and an opportunity to fix these issues and move on. Now, this could be a great time for you to build new connections and new friendships, but just be aware that if there are any disagreements, hopefully there's a resolution to move forward and build a stronger friendship in the process.